Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Upesh and I'm working here in Japan for 3.5 years as a mechanical engineer. If you are thinking to work here in Japan as an engineer, as a foreign engineer, or if you have already started processing, then this video is a great help for you. It will be helpful not just for the engineers but for the IT professionals as well. If you want to know whether Japan is really good for foreign engineers or it's not good, you're probably not just looking for the straight answer like it's good for engineer or it's not good for engineers. I guess you want to know in detail, like what's the income, what's the expenses, how to process, whether it's easy to work or not. For this I have already made a video and here's a link in I button or the link in down description, so you can watch and know about this. In today's video I'm gonna explain what's the good side, advantage of working here in Japan, and what's the bad side, disadvantage of working here in Japan as a foreign engineer. So stay tuned to know more. When you hear a country named Japan, you probably think that it's technologically well advanced. Yes, it is in reality. There are many amazing technologies and innovations here in Japan. Japan is also third largest economy in the world. Japan is a home for well-reputed companies. There are really big companies like Toyota, Nissan, Suzuki, Honda, Mitsubishi, Panasonic, Sony, Nikon, and this list goes on. Never mind. These companies and their supplier companies has provided a huge amount of employment, not just for Japanese, but for foreigners as well. Here comes the biggest problem for Japan and the biggest opportunity for foreign engineers and foreign workers like us. So we get opportunity to work here in Japan. But what's the problem? Japan is facing a massive labor shortage due to declining birth rate and increasing the old age populations. So to fulfill the labor shortage or demand of shortage, Japanese companies are constantly looking forward to hire foreign engineers and foreign workers. What happens when Japanese companies hire foreign nationalities as a worker? So they bring the different skill setup, different talent to their teams, and of course they fulfill the labor shortage problem. And this demand for foreign workers is really huge in the field of engineering and technology. Well, that's the background, and now let's discuss the advantages and disadvantages of working here in Japan as a foreigner. First, let's discuss about some advantages. First advantage is your employment. Since Japan is constantly seeking for foreign engineers to hire, the benefit is your employment. I'm not sure from where you are watching, but many developing countries like Nepal do not have proper job for engineers, and those engineers wants to have some kind of employment outside of the country. So it will be really a golden opportunity. On top of that, salaries here in Japan is way higher than your home country. I'm sure for that. Second benefit I can say is you will have a great opportunity to work in a sophisticated work environment. Like I said earlier, Japan is a home for really well-known brand. Top quality and reliable product they make. You may have a Panasonic refrigerator you bought back 10 years back and you are still using it fine. How reliable they are. So you will have a chance to work at the companies like this. Third advantage I can say is you will have a social security. That means Japan has a good healthcare system and a good pension system for every workers, regardless of whether you're Japanese or non-Japanese. On top of that, you can call your spouse and your children's healthcare insurance. Health insurance is covered by your insurance. You don't have to pay much for them. If you are looking for what to work here in Japan for a really long time, you may apply for permanent residence, and that's a good point for you. And even if you are not looking for what to work in Japan, and let's say you will be working here for 3-4 years, then even that time you will get a good social life. Fourth benefit or advantage is you will get experience for further process. That means you may be looking for a master's in some other countries, or you may be looking for permanent residence of some other countries. At that point, the Japan experience will be really helpful. On top of that, if you are looking for a master's degree, you will have money to sponsor yourself. Fifth advantage is to know about the culture. Japan is really good at cultures. It's really a nice place. People are well disciplined, and it has a really good working culture. So you will have an experience for all of that. And of course, Japan is a home for animes as well. Your favorite animes, and you can experience that as well. You can experience the different Japanese technology, and your life standards is also improved while working here in Japan. Here are 5 main advantages of working here in Japan as an engineer. So if you have any extra advantages, please write them in the comment so that everyone knows. So far I explained the advantages of working here in Japan, but working here in Japan as an engineer has limitations as well. Main limitations or main disadvantages I can say is language barrier. Everywhere in Japanese company, most of the time, often people use Japanese language as their communications. Not just the communications, every documentations, from everything they use Japanese language. These days people or Japanese companies are trending to adopt English language as well, but still Japanese dominates everything. So you may have to learn Japanese at some point, and that may be frustrating for you as an English speaker. These days bilingual jobs are increasing, so you will have a opportunity to get a job or higher paid just because you know two languages, or you can work globally. There are many IT jobs which are done in English without knowing a single word of Japanese, so you can make use of that. Second disadvantage I can say is salary range is not good enough for engineers here in Japan. Like people or engineers get in United States or Canada or Australia or somewhere else, it has a medium salary range. So as an engineer, you may expect a huge amount of salary, and you may not get that here in Japan. That's the second disadvantage. If you think so, both advantages that I explained will always be a good option. Third disadvantage is a hierarchy. You may have to go through long process to approve something. You may not present your idea if the people working around you are really old people, and they may not listen to your idea. But the young generation is looking forward to compete in a global market. At that place, you can present your idea. Working with old generation people is kind of difficult, but with the young generation, I found it's good. If you think your work environment is not good for you, then there is always option to change a job. So I have already made a video how to change a job, so you can find that video from I button or from the description. Here I explained 5 advantages and 3 disadvantages of working here in Japan as a foreign engineer. So what others could be, please write them in the comment section below. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button to know more about Japan and Japanese working visa. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.